You guys all know B. Ryan?
Feels good to be here. Feels good to be in a room with everybody.
What?
We'll go ahead and get started with Coach Cook. Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening statement, please.
Yeah, just wanted to welcome her to our program, and Nate's gone on to other things, but we'll miss him, and but excited for B. Ryan here. My first thought is it's a great summer to be a Husker, and I'll give you a few reasons why for Nebraska volleyball. One, at the beginning of the summer, I got a email from the Lincoln police that last time they emailed me was, my car was stolen. This time they found a championship ring that they pulled some guy over and he had it on and got it back. So that's how the summer started. We got that done. And then we were able to have camps this summer, and we had the strongest dream team camp we've ever had. And then 3 of our freshmen, Allie, Lindsay, and Lexi, made the USA junior national team and got to go to Netherlands and play in the Junior World Championships. So that was really exciting and great for them. It was a really stressful tryout and great competition, and they were just a couple points away in those tournaments of getting in the medal round. And then, of course, Tyler has been overseeing USA Beach for 4 years since he left here in 2017, and they had some major challenges with the Olympics with beach, but one of their teams, the A team, won the gold medal. So really happy for him. He's on his way back right now. And then, of course, our women play with 3 Huskers on it for the gold medal tonight. And so it's been a pretty cool summer for Nebraska volleyball. There's been lots to talk about, lots to follow. And then the most exciting part is we get to start training Monday. As you know, Lauren is trying to get back. She won't be ready right away. She's going to have to slowly work her way back into things, but I think mentally she's feeling good that she's making great progress, and so we're excited about that. Riley Zune is taking a medical, so she will no longer play volleyball. She will stay here and get her master's degree, which is pretty exciting. And other than that, we're excited about the season. I think the Big Ten is going to be really, really tough. I think this is going to be the strongest volleyball season ever because so many seniors are returning. And I look across the board, really the one program that lost the most was Kentucky, who won the national championship. Otherwise, everybody's kind of returning, everybody, freshmen and seniors. So we've tried to mentally prepare our team over the summer for the grind and the level of competition we're going to see, and what we did last year was not good enough, and it's going to have to be better. And so we've identified those areas. They've been working on them over the summer, and in typical fashion for the NCAA, they give us basically 2 weeks. We start school and we're playing. So, I mean, the red-white is 2 weeks from today, and we start practice Monday. So not a lot of time to really start preparing, but we're going to have, you may see a lot of different lineups this year trying to figure out what's our best. Last year we kind of knew there wasn't a whole lot of options. This year we've got to figure out who's going to play opposite the setter and who's going to be on the court. And the thing I'm going to tell them today when we meet is pretty much there's no given starting positions. You guys are all going to have to earn it. So like we have in our locker room, everything's earned, nothing's given. And we're going to make them earn their playing time and their starting position. I don't care if they're freshmen, senior, what fifth-year seniors, super seniors, whatever the heck they call them. People are going to have to earn their way on this team. And we've got 16 players that can all play. Questions?
You mentioned Lauren's not going to play right away, so how much of an impact is she going to have, like, in the locker room and on the court if she's not competing?
Well, she's a natural-born leader, and we did some leadership stuff with the team this summer, and Lauren's always off the charts in how they view her as a leader, and so she'll find a way to lead. She did last year when she wasn't playing at the end, but she'll really be an impactful leader if she can get back on the court. But she kind of talked to me about, I wasn't sure if I wanted to have a leadership role, and because there's so many uncertainties for her, but I just said, Lauren, you're going to be a leader whether you want to or not. It's just who she is, and it goes with the game with her, or with what she's done. So, and how the girls view her. So, so I anticipate she will have a major role in that.
Do you have a time frame of when she'll be back?
Nope. I think best case, again, with an injury like that, so far it's gone. She's doing really well. That's why I think she announced that she's really wants to come back and is on a mission. I think all summer she's been really uncertain. So her rehab's going well, but she still hasn't played volleyball and been on the court. So there's really no timetable. Those things are it's hard to predict that. It's not like you get a sprained ankle and you're back in a week, or you break a thumb and it's, you're out 2 weeks or whatever. This is a slow progression back, and we don't want to push it.
How much of the season are you focused on dealing with the burnout? I mean, playing the spring season, a lot of the players were busy during the summer. How much of that is your focus?
Zero. We're not happy with how this season ended and how we played last year, and we felt like we got kind of a season robbed from us in regards to no fans, so many cancellations. The way we played at the end, being in Omaha was, for us it was like you get all dressed up to go to the party, and and it's a bummer party. There's not much of a party. And anyway, it was. So I think our players are very, very motivated and hungry for this season. So I'm not worried about it at all. I just know how the coaches feel. I mean, we can't wait, and looking forward to some great competition.
How much are you looking forward to a full house at the Vanny again?
Very much. I'm a little nervous. I hope Garth goes well, but we'll be the first test with red white, and I'm, it's still a little concerned about everything, but I think this place is going to erupt if we have a full house, because it's going to be almost 2 years of not being able to be in here, and I know our student section already sold out. I mean, that was way back in the beginning of the summer. So shows you where that's a good barometer of how people's enthusiasm is for volleyball.
Lindsay Krause comes in with arguably the biggest in-state hype since the Rolfson twins. Do you have to talk to her about expectations and the hype her first year here?
I've already had that conversation with all the freshmen, and try to get them to understand that they'll be looked at a little bit differently, and especially the in-state ones. And I think they're a really mature group. I mean, they're world champions. They've been to the second world championship that they just went to, 3 of them. And Riley Gray's been a big performer in basketball, track. Whitney's, go try to run the 300 hurdles and see how tough you got to be to do that. So I'm pretty confident that those guys will be able to handle everything that's coming their way, and so we've had some of those talks. And then Kennedy Orr will be starting practice Monday. I don't know if she'll be going through both practices, but she's been doing great and is pretty much released.
Who are you looking at as options for the opposite hitter spot?
Lexi, Lindsay, Whitney.
What are you expecting the competition's going to be like for those starting spots and those DS spots?
I think it's going to be a war every day.
What about that excites you?
Because I think it brings out the best in everybody, and you're going to have to come. They're going to have to come in and perform. You can't come in and take a day off, cruise through practice, take a play off, and we had way too much of that last year. So we've got competition at all the positions, and so I think it's going to force them to have to perform. So as a coach, you love that.
For some of those girls that got to play in that tournament in Netherlands, is that kind of a good almost warm-up to get them ready for D1 Big Ten volleyball?
Great, because, well, first of all, the level of competition is really good, but Lexi Rodriguez didn't play for a year because Illinois high school got canceled. Allie did play. I can't remember if it was I think it was in the winter, or they finished in the winter. So basically, she went, 7 months without playing. And then Lindsay obviously had a great fall, and then got hurt and missed basketball and missed club. So none of them played club. Riley Gray's club shut down. Kennedy's been here with us, and of course Whitney ran track, which was great. So I just think those guys haven't played a lot of volleyball, so those three had a huge advantage by going. And everybody asks, because normally our players don't leave the summers here, but this summer I felt was really important for them if they made that team to go, because they haven't played. So it was great.
Did seeing them play on that big of a stage remind you of why you brought them here?
I don't know if it reminded me of why I brought them here. I just think, you look at, we have 3 out of 12 playing for the gold medal tonight. We have 3 out of 12 that were on that team. I just think it's a reflection of Nebraska volleyball. I think it's a reflection of our performance team, how we train here, how we train the whole athlete, mentally, physically, recover-wise, all those things. And I think that gives them a huge advantage when they go and try out for these teams.
Lexi, another super senior who decided to come back. I mean, how happy does that make you, and how much more of a ceiling does she have here?
That's a great question. I want to see what she can do. I know she's worked really hard this summer. We talked when she made the decision to come back. I talked to her about, hey, we're just not going to hand you a position. You're going to have some really talented freshmen you're going to have to compete with, and there will be more expectations for you. So you better spend this summer preparing for that. And then the other thing we talked about with the NIL, and she's going to be in here. I think you guys can talk to her about that. But that's a whole nother dimension that she's going to have to be able to manage and be a volleyball player. And she's getting in a master's program, so she's got a lot of challenges ahead of her. But she's also a super senior, and this is great. She's going to be under the gun. She's going to have to perform. She's going to have expectations. She's getting a master's degree, and she's starting a business. So. Isn't that what you go to college for?
Have you set up any parameters on the NIL activities during the season?
Nope. I thought about it, and then we just decided, let's see how it goes and how they'll handle it. And so we're going to have to spend some time tonight when we meet on how we're going to handle that, especially when we're traveling and if it starts getting blown up. But I think for the most part, I don't think it's been as big as an impact as people thought it would be, but it's going to be a big challenge going forward.
With Riley, I know she had an injury to end the spring season too. What were the conversations like with her to decide to take that medical route, and what's ailing her?
She just had so many things that were going wrong for her physically at trying to play at this level, and it just made sense for her to. It wasn't worth it anymore, and her body just couldn't take the level of training at this level. So, that's a great thing about Nebraska. She gets to finish her master's here, and it's a win-win for her. It's going to be really hard for her not to be with the team, but she lives with 3 of them, so she'll still be a part of it and be around. But it was the wisest decision for her long term.
Real quickly, Coach, can you touch on also this?
B. Ryan said only one more question.
It's not a tough one. Also this summer, Trev's hiring. I mean, I know you touched on it in one interview, but what do you think of his hiring here?
I feel like there was a lot of instability this summer with everything that happened, and then Bill Moose retiring, and so it just felt very like, okay, what's happening here? And now I feel like Trev is the perfect guy, and he's the right guy, and he's going to get it done. And I don't think volleyball needs a lot, but I didn't give him a list of all the things we need. It's just, I think he's going to do a great job of leading our athletic department, and I feel like we're ready to take off as an athletic department across the board. I feel like it's been building. It's right there, and of course it will start with football, but I think it's just going to be good times. And I find it ironic. These are the new Adidas shirts. I thought we got rid of the Huskers back in the 90s, but I don't know. Maybe it's we're going back to a little more tradition. And I still remember just 2001. We just beat Florida to go to the Final Four. Eric Crouch just won the Heisman, and the football team won and got select to go to Pasadena to play in the national championship. And it was one of the greatest sports nights on a Saturday night ever. And I remember, talking to Bill Byrne that night, and I said, this has to be one of the greatest Nebraska nights ever. And he agreed. And I think we got to go back and get something like that more. And I think Trev's the right guy to help us do that. I've been really, really impressed. And he can talk football too, so we get along great. Okay, thanks you guys.
Zoom anymore. Hello? What? Sorry. It's weird. I see all you in person. Wow, this is weird. I know it's so long. I'm used to just seeing your faces on like a little TV screen.
And like not connected.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Kayla, Lexi, and Nicklin. Any questions?
The way last season ended, how is that much of a motivation for you guys this year? Do you guys think about the way it ended or moved on or what?
Yeah, we definitely think about how it ended because the past couple years we haven't really played Nebraska volleyball. We haven't finished at the end, and so it's going to be a motivator going into this season that when it comes down at the end, we have to finish stronger than we have been.
Yeah, I think it's everything. I think as a team, we kind of knew what we could accomplish last year, and I think that we didn't really ever get to that point, and we weren't able to show everyone that side of us. And I think that this is just another year and another opportunity to be able to show what we have.
Yeah, I agree that we definitely think about it, and it's something that coming into this summer is something that we really wanted to focus on, just being grittier and working harder together as a team and building those bonds. So we've been doing that a lot off the court, in the weight room, with sports psych. So we're really excited for this season.
Given that there's a shorter break between the seasons, did you guys have to make any tweaks to your off-season training this summer?
I think obviously this past year and just what it was, I think everything has kind of been different for us. So we did get some time off, which was great after season, and then we came back and pretty much had a normal summer, and we're able to train like we always would, and prepare for this season. And I feel like we have had enough rest, but also another training to feel pretty prepared going into the start of this fall.
Nicklin, what are the best things that Lauren could potentially play this season? What are the best things that does for this team?
Obviously, she brings a lot of leadership. She brings a lot of experience. She's been in those big moments, winning a national championship. She's won a national championship, so we need that experience. And, she brings a lot of fire to our team, and we love to have her. However it is, even if it's on the bench, just cheering us on. Her presence is really felt within the team, and so we're excited to have her back.
Kayla, what do you think from being a fellow middle blocker? What does Lauren bring back to that group on the team?
Yeah, I'm so excited that Lauren's back. I definitely look up to her as another middle blocker. I think she pushes all of us and all of her teammates to be better. So I'm just super excited. I agree with Nicklin. She does bring just like a sense of calmness and leadership just because she's done this before. She has won a championship. So it's just really glad that she's back.
Lexi, what kind of went into your decision to return for an extra season?
A lot of things. I think a few of the biggest things for me were just being able to play another year with these girls. I think we really do have something special, and I think that, like I said, we weren't really able to display that last year. I think another year of learning and growing under the leadership and the staff here. And I think another year to just be able to get a real senior season. I feel like we didn't get a senior night. We didn't get Husker Nation supporting us. So it definitely was weird, and to leave on kind of that note would have been interesting. So I'm really excited to get this opportunity to come back and get another shot at it.
Nicklin, this freshman class comes in with a lot of hype. I mean, if you were to give them any advice, what would it be to start out this year?
I would say just to keep their confidence. There's a lot of expectations coming into this program, especially when you're ranked really high, just to keep your confidence no matter what, and really learn to separate your identity from you as a volleyball player to you as a person, because when you separate it, it's really easy to have that confidence. And they're all studs, so I know they can do it, but just going in, it can be really stressful, especially if you play as a freshman.
How do you go about, there's a group of 6 of them that are coming to the team, to get them, that's a big group to introduce to the team as a whole. How do you go about doing that, making sure they're part of the group and not just the freshmen, but they're part of the larger group?
Yeah, I think it helps that Kennedy, Allie, and Roddy, Lexi were here early, so they kind of experienced it and joined the team and did the stuff outside the court, so it was easier when the new freshmen got here. They could kind of show them the way. But I think our team does a really good job of hanging out outside of the court, kind of getting adapted to how it is at Nebraska volleyball, and we've been in the gym together probably this whole summer, so they really know how we work as a team, what our culture's like, and what you have to give every day to be a Nebraska volleyball player.
Lauren's obviously a ways off from playing. How do you view your role and kind of your responsibility on this team going into the season?
I think that my role is the same as last year, just to come in, work hard every day, contribute what I can, push my teammates to be better. I just think that I have the same role. I don't think anything's changed.
Lexi, John said that you're one of 3 possibilities to play the opposite side hitter.
Sure thing.
What are your thoughts, and how do you kind of approach not knowing whether you'll be a left or right pin?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never really been in this position before. I've always been a left side hitter. So I'm excited to get to try it and experience it and learn new things and be put into an uncomfortable position and just try something that's new to me. I'm excited. I think it'll be a cool opportunity, and we'll see what happens.
And then when you first came to Nebraska, you dealt with some back issues too. I mean, have you commiserated with Lauren about
Yes.
that and kind of talked about her process to get back to being fully healthy?
Absolutely, yeah. I would say, obviously, the timing of both of our injuries is super different, and she did have to have surgery and all those things, but I think we both previously to my back injury, and she's never had an injury before, and so I think we kind of relate on a lot of those struggles and things because we're so used to playing and being in the gym all the time. So it's definitely hard. It's a hard thing to go through, and so just to be able to talk to her about some of the same things we're going through, it's interesting. Obviously not what we would want, but we can relate, yes.
Nicklin, how much are you looking forward to a full house at Devaney and in a kind of a normal game day setting, and how much can the crowd kind of get the pep in your step, and you guys might not have your A game some nights?
Yeah, the crowd and the fans, I swear they give us a couple points every game, because they're so loud and they kind of get in the heads of the other team. And we really missed that this year. We kind of struggled with energy, especially coming out of the gate. We would kind of go down a couple points to start matches. And I think it was because we really missed that energy from our fans. And I'm so glad to have them back, just to be able to run out into a full Devaney. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. So I know everyone is super excited to have them back, and we've really missed them this past year.
Nicklin, what are some of the things that held you back on the court last season, and was that a priority with what you guys did in open gyms and stuff this summer?
Yeah, I think a lot of what held us back last year was more, I don't know, from like the mental side and working as a team. We worked a lot this summer on holding each other a little bit more accountable, and how we can change those things. And we think that was the reason that we've been struggling a little bit. So we did a lot of work with our sports psychologist this year. And I think we've already grown so much this year doing that with her. So I think it'll show out on the court and at the end of it all.
Nicklin, your placard has senior on it too.
That's crazy.
Are you approaching this like it's your last year, or how are you approaching this season?
I don't know. I guess I am a senior, which is crazy that you said that. Like, I feel like I was just a freshman yesterday, but yeah, I'm approaching it as my last season, to be determined after that.
Kayla, same for you. Your senior year, are you approaching this like it's your last year, or what's your mindset going into it?
I think I am approaching it as my senior year. I definitely have the mindset, like, I just want to take in everything, all my teammates, the experiences, because it is the senior year for me. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm just going to take in every moment.
And Nicklin, the team typically comes up with a theme every year. Have you decided that? Have you unveiled with the rest of the teammates?
We have not decided it yet.
To be determined.
To be determined. Yeah.
What about leadership structure? I know you and Lauren have been captains the last couple of years too. Are there will to be captains this year, or how will the leadership structure work for the players?
Yeah, so there will be captains this year, but a lot of the stuff we did with our sports psych is everyone kind of, in some sense, getting into their own leadership role. And I think that's going to be super important, to having everyone step up in those moments if someone's having a bad day. And we've worked a lot, and I think everyone's grown in a sense of leadership. So we'll see.
Lexi, Coach Cook kind of said that it doesn't matter if you're a super senior or a true freshman, that it's open competition. How much will that kind of light a fire under some of you just to, almost up your game?
Absolutely, yeah. I was just talking about this. Not only will the upperclassmen be pushing the freshmen, but the freshmen will also be pushing us to get better. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be really awesome about this team this year, is we're going to be able to get to that potential, because we will be competing every single day in the gym. And yeah, I'm excited to compete and be able to have so many amazing players in the gym at once.
And juggling that with NIL is obviously a new thing for you. You announced that clothing brand right away. How have you kind of been adjusting to that, and what's it going to take to manage that, your masters, and playing while you're in season? Yeah,
it's going to be, well, this summer it's been awesome as it is. I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to just share a little bit more about ourselves and just tap into the business mindset that we haven't really been able to before. I think for me personally, when it comes to season, I've kind of set up a team as to like how I'm going to go about doing all those things, so that I don't have all those things on my plate. And obviously we're all here for volleyball, so at the end of the day, that comes second, and volleyball is first. So there won't be any hiccups, or we won't get in the way of anything at all.
Nicklin, who came up with the podcast? How's that gone? And do you feel more comfortable now in front of a mic? I know it's only a few episodes in.
Yeah. Me and Love always talked about doing a podcast, but we just would talk about it and then nothing would happen. And we were like, you know what, let's just do it. We had a lot of time this summer, so put it together. It's been fun. It's definitely different. I don't know. We were both very nervous in the first episode. Just we were like shaking a little bit. But it's been fun. We're going to have a bunch of different guests, and it's really cool to let everyone else see a different side of us that they don't really get to see.
Lexi, are you going to sponsor the podcast?
We'll have to see about that. They haven't reached out yet, so.
We're writing the contract up right now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.